Hey everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are the Shady Tree Stitches. Back together, well, side by side, I imagine, for our monthly Jenny catch-up. How are you, Miss Jenny?
I'm all right.
That's good. Surviving lockdown in Sydney?
Surviving lockdown. The weather is starting to get a little bit warmer. And my parents gave me a slightly belated birthday present yesterday. They bought me a gerberet in a pot.
Okay, nice.
So I have some nice flowers on my balcony.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, well, for those of you who don't know, this is a video about cross stitch. Yes. And Jenny and I share our cross stitching progress, mine for the week, Jenny's for the month. And we would like to thank you for taking the time to share with us. We also basically get straight into the stitching and show you what we've been up to. And we appreciate that if you did like it, like and subscribe. And some people have been wondering, why do we mention it? But YouTube has these funny rules and algorithms. And when you get to 1,000 subscribers, it gives you a whole bunch of neat benefits you can do. In particular, the ability to go live and to let people know that you're going live, which is one thing that we're really keen to get to, especially when we're on our little retreats and things. Yes. So please, if you like us, do subscribe and hit the little bell, which notifies you when we do our next video, because generally, as I said, Jenny's here for once a month mostly. I generally do one once a week for a floss tube, and then there is the challenge chats that come up at the start of each week and month. So come and join us for more fun. All right, what have you been up to? It's the 5th of September now. So what did you get up to in August, Jenny?
Okay, so I did do not a whole lot of stitching in August. It wasn't my worst month, but it was my second worst. I just had a look at the stats. So I only did about 530 something stitches. But anyway, okay, so I did work on my little house neighborhood, which previously looked like this.
I love that you can share your photos now and I don't have to put them in after.
So that's what it previously looked like. And now, oh, hang on, stop share. Now I grew a tree and a plant.
A whole tree and a plant? I know, a weird pot plant.
Well, actually, technically the tree's not finished. So there should be 2 more little brown branches, I think, up here somewhere, but I haven't got to that yet. But yeah, so I did I think the fence post and the pot were there before, but now it's, yes. So right. Getting somewhere on that.
Good progress.
Slowly. And I'm quite pleased. I wasn't sure, but I think the white does show up just enough. So the material that I've got, it's I think is it pole stitches or is it the other one? I don't know. It was one that Janet JK's cross stitching supplies had ready, and it's called Smoky Mountain. So it's slightly it doesn't show up really well in this light, slightly browny blue. So I'm quite pleased that, yes, it's not really distinct, but it's distinct enough that you can see.
Closer to us, but the fence closer to us, and we might be able to see it.
Okay. Oops, sorry, there.
Yeah, we can see it there.
That's so you can see, and sorry if I just.
Yeah, you can see the mottling in the fabric too.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm quite pleased that does show up enough without needing to have backstitch or anything around it, because that would sort of detract. And then because my birthday is in August, and so I thought, although I didn't make it part of the official No New Starts birthday sal, I should do some work on the piece that I started at our retreat for my birthday last year, which is Tribal Eiffel Tower. So it previously looked, oh, hang on, no, I've got to share screen first, don't I? Come on, share this one. Okay, so I hadn't got very far with it before. But,
nice thread though.
Yes. And a nice needle minder from a nice stitchy friend. So now it's up to here.
Ah, very
so
good.
I've done a little bit more up here and then this bit down. So I'm quite liking the variation in the thread. But I've got going there. And so this is, it's a Karen Water Lilies thread, and the material is 18 count Ada that I tea dyed with cranberry and pomegranate tea.
Lovely.
So that's that one. So that's what I worked on in August. And then for the whip riff off, and I'm also trying to sort of double dip with the semi-sane dominoes. So
look at you playing the games.
Well, I don't know how far I'll get.
But you're trying, and that's what counts.
Yeah. So the first one I did, I worked on my here we go, ladybug needle roll. And the other reason that I thought I'd work on this one is because I decided that it's probably the only one that I have a chance of getting a finish on for this year, because it's only little.
So you focus on that and you'll get it finished, yes.
So previously, and also, so the Tribal Eiffel Tower and this one and the next one that I'm going to show, I hadn't worked on this year yet. So my ladybug previously looked like this. So I hadn't got very far. And that is the right out. I was thinking for a minute, but yes, because that's the ladybug body. And now, so I finished the little ladybug in the middle, and I've done all of the inside.
Yeah. And you crossed over all the
oh yeah, and yes, and I've finished off the outside border.
Done, Jenny. That's looking awesome. You'll get that finished easily.
So I decided that I'd make it fit for the whip riff off by saying that there's the nursery rhyme, ladybird, ladybird, fly away home, and you learn nursery rhymes at school. And therefore school.
Yep. I was wondering how you fitted that in with the topic of school.
Well, because I was originally going to do the next piece, but then changed my mind and decided that I don't want to do it anymore with that thread, and didn't want to restart. And so I wasn't going to get to 200 stitches, but I did still do enough to make it for dominoes.
Right.
So that one I think is 200 if I include the French knots,
which you can,
which I figure I can. Yep. So that's I stopped after 25 to do the dominoes, and then
we kept going.
So that's the first one. Then I worked on my House of Alphabets, because this was originally what I was thinking, because I thought, well, it looks like a schoolhouse.
A schoolhouse, and you learn the alphabet at school.
And learning the alphabet.
Definitely.
Yes. So it previously, this one looked like this. Interesting sunlight on my photo from December last year, but anyway. So that's where that one was. And so make sure I get it up the right way. Now it looks like this.
It's a weird alien face with some letters in its eyes.
So I've decided that I might ditch it and start again, because the thread that I'm using, it's a Mo Sail, and it's not cotton, it's rayon or something, and it's very slippery and horrible to work with. I mean, absolutely beautiful colors, but I think I've kind of stuffed myself, because by starting it like this, I think it's a bit too variegated to work for the pattern.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm thinking that I might have to restart that one, but I still did do 60 something stitches, which was enough to count. So for the dominoes, I'm doing the 25 stitch increment. I'm not being an idiot. I'm starting off small, and I'll see how I go.
That's so good. I'm so proud of you.
So I've decided that one might have to get a restart, which quite conveniently I do have a second piece of the material, which was going to be.
The pattern looks so much bigger. Like the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It just looks so much bigger than that piece of fabric.
Well, yeah, but if you consider that, hang on, if I do it that way, then we can see. So this is sort of there. So there's only the roof to go. And then this is, there's a little bit further down. So I am, you know, it will pretty much fit within the hoop squish circle that you can see.
It's amazing how they do that. And some we think are small or huge.
Yeah. And when because I had these weird, odd little bits, and these are also slightly mottled. They're blue, not purple. It's coming out a bit purple, but and I was thinking, oh, what can I do on them? And so I had originally thought that, yeah, I would do one coloured, because there's two slightly different patterns. Do one coloured and one white on the blue. But yeah, I think if I'm going to do it again, I might do something variegated, but not so dramatically. More like my Eiffel Tower variegated, where it's a lot less.
You could do a creamy tan variegated, might look nice.
Yes, yes. Yes, so I'll that's a not being put in timeout exactly, but being put in a, I'll have to have a think about that one.
Yeah.
And then the last piece I've been working on is my verbena family Quaker, which previously looked like this. Make sure I turn it around the right way. And now so I've done the bit more of the border here, and I've done my two keys, and I've started to do that. So this one at the top gets the initials, and then this one has pictures in it. So yes.
Very good.
So that's my.
I think you're going to be perfectly well set for next year's No New Starts group, because there's a couple of different options. And for you, the second option, the 22 in 22, I think it's right up your alley. You're going to get to have 22 pieces, whether they exist already, or if you want to start new ones to have spots for starts. So that'll be good.
Which I do, because I think I've got 17 or thereabouts at the moment. So if I finish my Ladybird, that gives me a handful of new starts.
Yeah.
So
and you don't have to declare what you're going to start at the beginning of the year for that one. You only have to declare a new start spot.
Oh, okay. So they don't all have to be started before the
Not in the 22 and 22. So there's a bit of advanced notes to people watching us. I get some inside scoop. Natalie and I are just working on the official documentation right now. It's ready to be launched, but hoping for mid-September to open up the group for next year and share all the information. So people, because we want people in the group who are going to actually participate. We don't want people who are just there lurking. So it's a condition of being in the group next year that you actually participate in one of the No New Starts challenges, but it doesn't mean you don't have starts necessarily.
Right.
Anyway, it'll all make sense. But for you, Jenny, I would definitely putting you in 22 and 22.
Yeah. And September, I think from memory, that's about the same kind of lead time that we had last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it'll be good. But so for anyone who's waiting, anyone who didn't join No New Starts last year and wants to, it is going to open up to new members, and you will be able to join, and there will be the No New Starts option for the people who want to do No New Starts, but it means no new starts, none. Okay.
Oh, so no freebies next year.
Not in No New Starts. So option
in that option, yes.
Option 2 is 2020 and 22 and 22, and then there's a third option called Work Your Whips.
Right.
And I'll get into more details when Natalie and I do the official.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Well,
the one thing that I had to comment on with the whip riff off, last time I meant to partake in or take part in the thing, and the bonus items, I had lots of them. This time there's like a list of about 10. I've only got 3 that I can fit, which One of them's a key,
Mhm.
and one of them is a sheep.
Well, that works well. So they're both in that one.
Yes. So yes, sheep, key, and the letter B. That's all that I've got this time round, which is a little disappointing. But I do have multiple whips that have, well, I think that's the only one with keys, but I have sheep in a few because Little House Neighborhood has
So
sheep.
you can keep clocking up the sheep points.
Sheep and bees, because I've got a few things with words. So,
well, I'm very weird this
so
time.
P, not B.
Which is very unusual, but I'm not doing it. But that's because I've had my brain on something else and I couldn't do anything else till something else came to fruition. So yeah, no whip riff off for me. And in semi-sane, I'm not doing the domino effect. I'm playing Jumanji.
Right.
Which is basically like Stitchopoly. So I figured I could cope with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I actually was wondering if you might have stitched on more pieces than me this week. I think I still win, but only just. Because when I last saw the viewers, I filmed Sunday morning. So it's basically been exactly a week.
Yes.
And the first piece that I worked on, goes over the month in my diary, was the stitching time. Okay. So my stitching time looks like this, in case people have been under a rock. And I worked on it for not too much, but I did, oh yeah, okay. I did 1,200 stitches.
Still working in your black. Yes.
It's my black. But look, you can see a definite book there.
Yes.
So that is 3/4 of the top shelf done.
Ooh.
So I'm still upholding myself to my goal of trying to finish by the end of the black, not the piece. I need to do some more work on it, but that should happen again soon. So yeah, that was good. That was my second biggest stitch piece. Also then last Monday, I was continuing to work on my Sleepy Hollow, a tiny modernist. And just as you haven't seen it out of the QSnap for a while, that's where I'm up to. So I've nearly finished the second row. I think I've got another skeleton to do.
And possibly a few more words, because that doesn't quite make
sorry. All gather for E dancing finish. What's wrong with that? I think it's fine. But yeah, so I have finished the top row. Haven't finished the second row, but it's mostly done.
Yeah.
And I've just started on the third one. It was to do with colours I had to do.
Yes.
So that one will not be getting finished this year, but that's okay, because then I still have a spooky and blah blah sort of one.
Yes.
I want that one next. I did some work on my numbers sampler. And in particular, number 4 is complete.
Yay.
And you know what's really exciting? I'm up to number 5.
And that's it?
And that's it. So this one will be finished. This is my oldest whip, and it will be finished, so you can get to see what it looks like when I finish number 5.
I think that might even be older than my oldest whip.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can't quite, well, I definitely would have bought it a long, long time ago. I know I started stitching it about 12 years ago.
Okay. Now my oldest is older than.
Yeah, because I was stitching it for James. So
yeah, my oldest was started in 1990 something.
Yeah, no, you win. But admittedly, I think my other oldest might be, well, it's one of my Celtic ladies.
Yes.
But it's my third one, so it's not that old. Anyway, we digress. I also did 310 stitches on my treble clef.
There is actually some clef showing now.
There is some
staves. Sorry, some staves.
Some staves and some clef. Yes. This one, I had to work on my smallest whip. And this is my smallest whip. So this one actually, I mean, it's still got a bit to go, but not a lot. So this one will be getting finished this year too. which is good. So yeah, I took it to school with me because the Amazing Race has started, and the Amazing Race means that you have to travel, and then you have to do, you know, pit stops or road blocks or detours or all the fun challenges, and it's super fun. And there's, I think, 5 of us in our team, and all 5 of us have to stitch each thing before we can move on.
Okay.
Except we discovered after we waited the whole day that I was at work, which was when I stitched that. I took it to work with me and I sat there in my break stitching, except that I discovered I didn't have a needle. So I had to quickly run out to the reject shop and get some sewing needles because shops aren't open. But I knew the reject shop would be open and they'd have some sewing needles, so I went and got one of them. But I did some stitches there because the rest of the team were waiting for me to get my 200 stitches or 100 stitches done so that we could move on. But the good thing was that just meant I was the last one, and so I moved us on, because when you're traveling, you've got like, oh no, say 950 stitches to do. Everyone has to contribute, but it doesn't have to be even.
Right.
So I ended up, you know, doing most of that night, so that I went to sleep. They all had to do like 10 stitches each. Then they can move on to the next thing. And we discovered that it's not all of us that had to do that, because there's a choice of 2 things. And it said 75% of you had to complete one choice before you moved on. So we interpreted that to mean 4 out of 5 of us had to pick option A. And we all had to stitch. But no, that's not the case. It just meant that 4 of us had to finish stitching before we could move on. So they don't have to wait for me anymore.
Right.
But they're not waiting for me much, although they were waiting for me this morning because I was asleep. But that's okay. Again, I just chunked through. And you'll be very proud of me, Jenny. To finish the leg, I had to put an adventurous selfie. So I put in that adventurous selfie when I went abseiling with the cubs. So there you go. Okay. Anyway, back to stitching.
Yes.
I did 780 stitches.
Ooh.
On my Chinese garden mandala.
Ooh.
And you can see that the frames are all finished now.
Yes.
Except for the bottom archway.
Yeah.
But the actual square frame is finished, which gives me a really good place to be able to go. There's still a heap outside the frame to do.
Oh.
But it now means that I can start to go wherever I feel like more.
Yes.
Which is good. Also means all the really quick and easy stitching is gone. But that's okay. I mean, I do enjoy this, but I need to measure the count of the fabric because it feels quite small. So I'm not sure what it is. And I did work, I'm halfway through this one today, Christmas Eve sampler. I've worked on these little houses up here.
Cute.
Yes, 100 stitches there, but I'm going to go through and finish all the reindeers flying on. That's actually the edge of the pattern.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go any further this way. And I've obviously done all the bit around there. But I'm working on this one. This is my Crystal Academy piece for this week, and I need to do another 450 stitches on it. Tonight or tomorrow. So I just couldn't get it done. That was one because one of the roadblocks or something we had to do was we had to do 13 different whips between the 5 of us. Only 100 stitches on each, but that fitted in so perfectly for those who were doing the whip riff off. And so I was working on one, and then I had to end up doing 100 on this to get another one. So that then brings me to what I have been spending my time on. And since I last saw you guys, give or take that I may not have written some of the numbers down, and I haven't. I've got a whole day I haven't written it down, but 10, 11, 12, let's say 3,000 stitches were on this piece. And the trombone. This piece deserved the tuba, but I couldn't get it out. I would like to very proudly introduce you to the lovely Terra Australis sampler.
Woohoo!
It is done.
Yay!
That's what I've been stitching on for all this time. So this is PaddockLaneDesigns' first sort of traditional sampler. I decided, like with one of my other designs, that's a bit of a problem. There's not much Australian. So I have decided to design a series of traditional looking samplers based on Australian culture. So this one is basically recognising the British discovery of what was then called Terra Australis.
Yes.
The Great Southland. And you can see that the map is really funny. And in particular, there's no Tasmania. They thought it was all part of the one country.
Yep.
So this map is actually based on the cartography of the time. So if you look at the letters, I can't see what I'm showing you. I have to look over. The letters, I have done different colours for Terra Australis. Then you have got Arthur, or Captain Cook, who discovered with his little compass. You've got some wattle, waratah, and a Banksia cockatoo. You've got a ship that's probably the HMS Supply. A couple of trees. Down the bottom, you've got Joseph Banks, who was the botanist who came on the first discovery voyage. And then I sort of merged a bit of the next bit with some British soldiers who would have been there, a ship that I think was probably the Endeavour, and then a couple of convicts, because it was settled as a place for England to send their prisoners to.
Yep.
And the phrase, can you read it, or is it back to front?
Yeah, up a bit. Little bit more.
Can you read it?
There we go. Yes. You want me to read it out loud?
Yes, please.
Okay. Of those precious souls for whom nobody care, it seems a large cargo the kingdom can spare. They cannot too soon go to Botany Bay. They go to an island to take special charge, much warmer than Britain and 10 times as large. No custom house duty, no freightage to pay, and
tax-free.
Tax-free they'll live when at Botany Bay.
So there you go. There's Van Diemen's, Terra Australis with the map from Van Diemen's Land. Yeah. So thank you to Jenny, who actually found me that phrase first up. It's actually a real quote from the London Post at the time of sort of the first fleet, but it was very hard to find anything that was just on the discovery time. So it's a little bit of a morph of the two. And then my next one's going to be more about the convict history, the early settlement time. So there you go. That is what I have been working on. And it's very good that it's done. It will be officially launching in the Paddock Lanes Etsy store tomorrow. And there may even be some paper copies getting printed and potentially getting sent to some people, some places. I can think of 2 places that may want to stock it. So yeah, so I'm very, very proud of that, but very exciting.
Yeah.
So that's my stitching. Have you been shopping?
I have. Well, because it was my birthday, so I bought myself a birthday present.
Good.
So I found not a new designer, but new to me. Tourney cotton. It's French. So I bought Between the Sea and the Sky.
Nice.
I didn't realize, I didn't look at it closely enough. The tree is all French knots. But anyway, yes, so that one's very pretty.
Good practice.
And
you could always cross it if you want to.
And I bought Cœur de Crazy Heart.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So they're the 2 that I ordered, but she, instead of sending me the Crazy Heart, she sent me another one. And I sent her an email and said, it's lovely, but I didn't order it. If I pay for it, can you send me the other one? And she sent me the other one anyway. So I also got this one, which is In All Seasons.
Oh, very cute.
Yes. Now, one interesting thing that I discovered, so they were sent to me as PDFs, and when I printed them, the first time I printed it, it came out like this. And I went, that doesn't work. So my tip to everyone is when you print, make sure you check, because then I printed it again and the symbols came out. I don't know if I used a different, like if I didn't do it through PDF on my web browser, I did it as an actual, I don't know. But when I reprinted, I did get the symbols. So if you're printing a PDF, make sure to check that it has actually printed you your symbols, because that's not very useful.
No, it's not.
And the other thing that I bought, so I went to Macquarie to go to the supermarket, because then I could go to one shopping centre and go to Coles and Woolies and Aldi. All three are in the one spot and quite close to each other. It also happens to be where Daiso is. Now, I was not expecting Daiso to be open.
Well, it is, because it sells cleaning products and...
Yes. So I bought myself, it's supposed to be a smartphone holder, but I thought
pattern holder, tablet holder, pattern holder.
It can work to be a pattern holder.
Definitely, very good.
So yes, and so it's got that's a little silicone dot to sort of help hold it in place.
And show me the other angle. Show me where it's attached to the bar. No.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
it's just
like
a clip.
Yep.
And this bit comes off, so you can have it that way, or you know, however you want to clip.
Yeah.
You can angle it to be whichever way around. So $2.80, because everything from Daiso is $2.80.
I have to get myself one when I go there in a few weeks' time.
And I did also pick up some more of the
our favourite bags.
The bags, because that's why I actually went in, was to get them.
Grey or grey.
Yes. But that's why you buy coloured key tags.
I know. They're really nice bags. They really are. They're just great.
Yeah. Yes. So I was quite, I wasn't sure how well it was going to work, but I figured for $2.80 it was worth trying.
Definitely.
So it does need, like, just a piece of paper won't work. It does need cardboard to give it a bit more support. But otherwise, so far so good.
Awesome. That's all your haul?
That's all my haul. Isn't that enough?
Yeah, but it was your birthday. I only have a little bit. I did get my latest Crafty Leanie fabric of the month.
Ooh.
It's super bright.
Wow. Yes.
So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on it. Reminds me of that splice one we got from the She really does great fabrics. But I discovered, he started to hand dye étoile threads. So I'm super excited to find out about them, and hopefully she might have a thread of the month. That would be pretty cool.
Ooh.
I don't know if she's thought of that. But speaking of thread of the month.
Oh, yes. Oh.
So these are the colour of the month, this lot.
Wow.
So 5 different variations of purples.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous as usual. And thanks to my lovely friend in Melbourne, Rachel, who was the postal delivery person for our rewards from the Daily 30. So we told the admins to just send all ours to her, and then she disseminated to them. I now have a series of pieces by Hands On Design.
Ooh.
Yeah, called On the Beach.
Oh.
And there's 12 of them.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them, but they did tickle my fancy as a freebie to win for all my hard work.
Yep.
And particularly knowing that Shady Trees is at the beach.
Yes.
It might be a cool thing to do these. And if I was doing 22 and 22, I'd be right. because I could just do what another friend calls the tissue box method, and I could have one slot called on the beach and work on one, finish it, and then pull up the next one.
Yep.
Finish it and pull up the next one. So there you go.
Ooh.
That's my haul. Not much, but still a little bit, which is good. What are your plans?
I may not have bought anything more, but I have been getting lots of ideas, which is always a bit dangerous. But because I know they've just had the Needlework Expo.
Yes.
And I think as part of that, there was a series of Instagram like days to post various different things. And so I've discovered that they're well, again, new to me, floss tubers that I've just started watching, and they're also on Instagram, and they've been doing all of that. So Nikki Noodle, you recommended to me.
Yes.
She's another Australian. She's great.
Yep, especially for traditional samplers.
Yes. And then she kept talking about Mama Loves You GB.
Okay.
And so I started investigating her too. And she's a lovely lady. She's English but based in Wales. Nice. And she does weekly floss tubes. She calls it the Sunday morning briefing. And she's been going for a year. So so I've been watching both of them and getting lots of ideas. As I said, haven't bought any yet, but my wish list is growing.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, Jenny. Well, I do have some more haul on the way, but we've discovered that there's postage from America. Postage to America gets there super fast. Postage from America takes forever.
Mm.
And my 123 stitch order has been coming for 2 months now. So, sorry. That's just my mother. So I'm waiting for that to come, and I think I might have one more parcel in the airways somewhere at the moment.
I think it's just a matter of timing, because the last time I ordered from 123 Stitch, I was surprised it actually. I think it took maybe 3 weeks.
It's probably a matter of whether it went up at the
so it didn't take too long at all, which was
That's not their fault. It's just the way things are at the moment, but that's all good.
Yep.
All right. So plans, Miss Jenny.
Okay, so I've decided, seeing as we're sort of in the last quarter of the year kind of thing, that I should make sure that I touch the pieces that I haven't done anything on yet. So with that in mind, looking at the challenges, part of it will be the riff off and the domino thing. But the other ones that I'm looking at, so Semi-Sane Whip Days, the skyscraper one. Yep. The only one that I have that is city skyline is my Reflections of Paris. Now, I have done some on that, but I figured I can do some more, and then I can make it fit into the riff off one as well. I could do another bauble on my bauble tablecloth for the No New Starts Virgo Sapphire, because the blue color is sapphire. And my Beatrix Potter, I've in my little book, I have written down lots that I was planning to do and never got round to any of them. So I've only done 100 stitches on that one all year. So maybe should do some more on that. So again, for No New Starts Virgo, it's an earth sign. It's got all the animals that live in the earth. So that can fit for that one. And then, with the whip riff off, trying to concentrate, because I've still got another 4, I think, that I haven't really done anything much on. So that's kind of my plans.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, see how many you get done in the riff off. That's great. Well, my plans are pretty much dictated by the new group that I joined called
yes.
Pop Culture Challenge. And if you want to know all about that, look at the monthly homework video. But basically my 21 in 21 that I'm doing at the moment as a bit of an experiment in preparation with the 22 and 22, which I am not doing, but I wanted to, test run it before I could work out how to run it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the focus, and the pop culture needed me to work on 22. I was trying to do so well. 20 pieces out of my 21. So basically I'm going to be working through them and fitting them into whatever challenges I can, trying to knock over the monthly challenges for the daily 30 and give a bit of love back to my zombie run, because it got done last month, but it didn't get any love. The difference is, only the amount I do, really. But now that I have finished the sampler, I will give myself probably the rest of this week off from doing any model stitching. I do need to do some dyeing. PaddockLaneDesigns is going to be dyeing some 36 count linen and sending that down to JK's. There's a shipment of fabric on its way to JK's at the moment in the post that is filling in the holes of what she currently has. So I just like to try and keep it topped up so that there's one of each colour available for people to buy. And then we'll see, the Etsy store is needing a few more in it. So going to be a bit more dyeing this week. But that's pretty much my plans. All right, well, I realised that last time we were together, Jenny, we didn't do an Australian word of the week. So, putting you on the spot.
We did the time before we did biscuit.
But we didn't this time.
Okay.
So, I have one, but if you have one, I'd rather get yours. But if not, I didn't give you any warning.
I'm just trying to think what you've already done.
Well, say the word and I'll tell you if I've done it.
Well,
there's so many to choose from.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think of what you've already done so I can think of something different. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, my word. You want mine?
Mm-hmm.
Is tradie. Tradie has two meanings. A tradie is a workman.
Yep.
Someone who's a plumber, an electrician,
builder, carpenter,
carpenter. A tradie is a tradesperson.
Yes.
Previously known as a tradesman.
Yes.
We shorten everything. So it's a tradie. Okay. So the tradie is who it is. However, if you're going to a tradie, that's not a person. The tradie, Jenny doesn't go to many tradies. She doesn't live in the country. A tradie is a bit like the RE.
Oh, right. Okay. Right, gotcha now.
Going to the tradie or the RE. It's a club. An RSL club, Return Services League, or a tradesman's club.
I didn't know they existed. There you go.
They do. There's tradies as well. So if you're going to a tradie, it's like a place where you go to have food and drink.
Yep.
And if you are talking to a tradie, it's someone who's doing some work for you. So that, lovely American friends and British friends, is the Australian word of the week. And next time Jenny comes on, she'll have a whole month's notice to try and think of one if I don't accidentally steal it first.
Well, you actually just did two because you did Ari as well.
I did Ari and tradie, but that's okay.
And as Lisa said, we shorten everything. So even though RSL is already shortened from Return Services League Club to just the letters RSL, no one calls it that. They call it the RE.
And the RE. Yep. Going for an RE.
Yeah.
I won't say
generally
because that will give away other words.
Yes. But yes, generally things are shortened to either have E, so Y or IE at the end, or O.
Exactly.
At the end.
So yes, well, we can come to some other ones for those another day.
I think you may have already done Bottle-O.
I don't know if I did Bottle-O.
I think you might have.
But a bottle would be very closely linked to the RE and the tradie.
Yes, yes. You may actually have a bottle at the RE or the tradie.
But the bottle is where you go to buy your alcohol.
Yes, bottle shop.
Yes, we don't
But
have
yes.
it. It doesn't sell in our supermarkets.
No.
You've got to go to a specific grog shop.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your lesson. Thus endeth the Sunday lesson. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. And I will catch you hopefully next week. At least I should have some different whips to work on this week. Oh, I didn't tell you. Numbers. But I did 4,984 stitches since I last saw you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an okay week.
Hmm.
All right. That's all from me. See
And
you
me.
in a month, Jenny.
Okay.
Happy stitching, everyone.
Bye.